Now, exercises that one can do to improve their strength for the front kick. This is a compilation I made not in any particular order, meaning the exercises that are not organized from the easiest to the hardest one to do. Although I do give some input on easier or harder ways to do each exercise. This is just a compilation of exercises that you can use, just some ideas, some tips that you can use to improve your strength for the muscles involved in the front kick. So, for the first exercise, we have the simultaneous thigh and hip flexion on the TRX. These are exercises intended for the hip flexors. You can also do them alternating, and you can do them with some weights with a backpack on your back to increase the weight. In this version, the way that I chose to increase the weight was to 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 work further away from far away from the door. If you go close, if you work closer to the door, the exercise is much easier. For example, this is the easier version. As you can see, I'm able to flex my thighs more. And the final version, which is the easiest one. And as I said before, you can pack up some weights on your back to improve the difficulty of the exercise. If it's difficult to balance, you can put them on a backpack and do the exercises with the backpack on your back. Now, another exercise, a harder exercise for the hip flexors. Also, a little bit of lower abs work there. The even harder version, walking away from the door, makes it harder to flex the thighs. And basically, the difference is that now the legs are extended. Another one for the hip flexors. You can get rid of the TRX altogether and do single thigh flexions, and you can do it with some explosiveness. Now, an exercise for the quadriceps, simultaneous leg extensions. Now the thighs don't move. Now I'm not moving the thighs, only moving the legs. This is an exercise for the quadriceps and the harder version. You can do this with only one leg, and I'm using one leg only. Leg extensions. Try and keep your back straight during these exercises. Now, this is if you're getting tired on your arms, you can prop yourself against other objects. And to make the exercise easier, I'm leaning forward. In this version, I'm leaning forward. I'm putting my weight on my arms, and now I'm going to lean backwards to make the exercise harder on my legs. Now I'm placing a little bit more weight on my legs to make the exercise a little bit harder, so as to achieve our intended goal. Another one for the quadriceps and for the thighs also. Leg extensions. Probably the easiest exercise of them all, just on the dorsal decubitus leg extension with no weights added. If you want to make the exercise a little bit harder, you can add some weights, or you can do the exercise seated like this. Try and keep your back straight throughout the exercise. And of course, to make it harder, you can add some weights. This is a version with some added weights on the legs. Try and keep your thighs without moving too much, and try to only extend the legs. And the final version with a further increase in weight. Probably the most difficult one of this last group of exercises that I showed, which is the flexion of the thighs with the legs extended. This version is super difficult to do seated. And a classic one, the lunge, the stationary lunge, good for improving the strength on the for the push kick. You can pack up some weights on your back. This is the front view. Try and keep your heels on the ground, the heel of the front leg on the ground, and lift the heel of the back leg. Now the lunge, but with jumps. You can do it for just one leg, always on the same side, or you can do it alternating, just for a little bit of explosive power on that push kick, that front push kick. Another classic one, the squat. Try and keep your heels always touching the floor, and do about a 90 degrees angle with the legs. The front view. You can do, as you can see here, with some weights. The squat jump, which also is called the counter movement jump by athletes. Some Another good exercise for cardio and explosive power for the front kick. All of these exercises work the quads. For example, one-legged squats, they work the quads and they also work the glutes. They work primarily the quads and the glutes. Another good exercise for the front push kick. I was doing the harder version in the beginning where I was leaning forward. Now I'm in the middle position. I'm sustaining my weight a little bit on the TRX, and now I'm leaning further back. I'm leaning further back, supporting my weight, alleviating the work on my legs and supporting my weight with my arms on the TRX. So, general guidelines for your workout session. My tips are to choose about 3 to 4 exercises per training session. Do about 2 to 5 sets per exercise. And if you want to train, if the type of strength that you want to train is endurance, you want to do about 15 to 20 reps to failure per set, with the total amount of muscle stimuli per training session around the 150 to 200 muscle stimuli. So, with all the sets, if you sum all the repetitions that you do during the workout, if you sum all the repetitions multiplied by the sets that you do, in total, you should do about 100 to 150 to 200 muscle stimuli for endurance strength. If you want dynamic strength, if you want muscle, if you want dynamic strength for muscle size, you want to do about 8 to 12 repetitions to failure per set. And obviously, you're going to decrease the number of stimuli. Do just 90 to 120 muscle stimuli per training session. Now, an example of a way to combine some of these exercises into one workout session. For this example, I chose 3 exercises. On the upper left corner, we have the thigh flexions with on a dorsal decubitus with the legs extended. In the upper right corner, we have the thigh flexion with the leg extension, but on the TRX. We're in a plank position, but with the arms extended. And on the lower left corner, we have the plank position, and we have the thigh flexion with legs extended on a plank position. So I chose these 3 exercises for an entire workout session. An example of what you can do is to do for the first exercises 3 sets of 15 reps, which totals 45 reps. For the second exercise, 3 sets of 20 reps, which totals 60 reps. And for the third exercise, 4 sets of 15 reps, which totals 60 reps. Now, you want to, I chose 15 to 20 reps because I'm choosing to work my endurance on these exercises. And in order for me to be able to do to achieve my goal, which is endurance, I have to choose an amount of weight for the exercise that allows me to do these repetitions to failure, or at least close to the failure point. So if you are doing an exercise, and if you do, for example, 20 reps, and if you see that you can do more than 20 reps, or much more than 20 reps, you want to increase the weight so that you can work close to the failure point, in order to for you to work that specific amount of strength. And these are basically my tips on how you can increase the strength for the front kick. Now, if this isn't clear, if this subject isn't clear enough in your head, I'm going to do in my next video a workout session, a sample workout session from beginning to end, with warm up, main part, and with the stretching part at the end, so that you can see how you can do a workout session in order to increase the strength of the front kick.